Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage, and today we are at the Field of Tools event in East Durham, New York. Today is Friday, August 8th, first day of the event. It's going to be open for 3 days this weekend. It's our first time here, and we're hoping to find some tools, some vintage goodies, anything interesting that sparks our interest. So we're going to get inside, try to get some footage, and try to find some cool tools. We ended up parking next to Scoutcrafter, his well-identified vehicle, and we're hoping to catch up with him inside. So let's get to it. Let's see what we find.
That's the great part that I'm worried about.
My dad used to just,
Just that's kind of what we want to do. Stop it and get rid of it.
The markers went from 100,000 to 10.1.
is that, I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah.
You want to be at like 2. So we're there. And then we have other things to do after that. There's other phases of it, you know, but once we get to that stage, we're on our way.
We still, this is a 7. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, you gotta like that dollar stuff.
That's a chopper that's missing. These are the actual record books of the
Yeah, from 1873 to 1960.
Are you selling them? Yeah, I'm selling the whole. It's a whole. It's a business. Yeah.
What are you asking on the hardware set?
I'd want to get rid of the whole setup, really. I mean, I can't just. There's the drawers and the, you know.
4-foot pipe wrench, aluminum rigid, $50. That's a deal.
I had to fix that. I had to fix it because, believe it or not, it's bent. I fixed on the date. So I can't even imagine. You had to put some string on it, bent. And the nice thing about it's a band size.
You remember you had one of these?
Yeah? Yeah, I was looking at it.
Look at that restoration. It looks great.
Somebody tried to weld their initials in and it broke when they welded it. You know what? So I call up Rich Tuco.
That is the most insane fucking thing. I was not expecting.
Thinking this one on the bottom.
Which one?
The bottom on the 4-jaw.
All right, guys, we're back in the garage, and we got a lot of stuff today. We had a really great time at the show. Again, it was the Field of Tools in East Durham, New York, and we got there, we saw Scoutcrafter's car, and so I knew he was going to be there, and I'm glad he was. We had a really good time with him. We walked around, did a lot of booths together, kind of separated and met back together a couple times. We even saw some really big YouTubers there. So we saw Jimmy Diresta there, that was pretty cool. And we also saw Keith Rucker, and we bought stuff from both of them. They were actually sellers there. And there was a couple other YouTubers there. I can't exactly remember. I think Scoutcrafter got a lot of pictures and some video footage of that. So definitely recommend checking out his video as well. But let's jump into the tool haul, and we'll just do a quick overview of what we got. We got a lot going on, but I want to show you guys just what you can find at these kind of events. First up, this was just awesome. This is an old Craftsman toolbox. This is known as the dome style, the long handle, but it's also known as the lunchbox. That's what it looks like to me. I looked this up on the way home, and it appears to be that this is from the late 40s to the 1950s. Just has that Art Deco look. Really cool. I'll just give you guys like a little quick peek inside. But you got this tray here. In the bottom, somebody put some of this like linoleum tile in here. A little bit of rust down there, but I think this would be a really cool thing to clean up. It has these removable little socket trays in here. It's got a key. I don't think we have the key, but I paid 45 bucks for it, or a little less because I think I made a bundle deal with the guy, but you just don't see this kind of stuff regularly. Really cool, awesome box. Found this one, Craftsman Tombstone, for $2. And this toolbox, nothing special. I do see these a lot, but it was kind of interesting. Somebody lined the inside with carpet. So you got this carpeting down here. They kind of did a good job. I'm going to keep this toolbox for myself, put a couple tools in it. This is just a good thing to keep in the basement, maybe the laundry room or something. Just have a couple quick tools, $2, steal of a deal. I'll show you guys some of the stuff in the front row. They gave out these Jacob keys on the way in. There was a $15 entry fee, and they gave you a little tote bag and 2 Jacobs Chuck keys in there. So that was pretty cool. So now we have 4 Jacobs Chuck keys, a couple different sizes there. Picked up these dollar bin ratchets. This one is a Walden, 1/2-inch drive, $11.50. It's got this knurled like thumb grip selector switch. Just trying to remember how to use it. Oh, you turn it. But it works. It's cool. A little bit rusty, but for $1, it even came with an SK Wayne socket on it. Got this Craftsman ratchet, 1/4-inch drive. That was another $1, quick release. I haven't even taken this tape off yet to see if it's US made or not. Let's see. USA, VH series. Good little steal for $1. I found this Craftsman vintage wrench display. This is for the Flying V series wrenches, I believe. I'm not sure if this is for the double open or the double box or the combination. If you guys know, let me know. You can hang this up on the wall. And I think in my shop, I think I'll hang that up, put some old vintage wrenches on it. I think that would look really awesome. Got a dollar bin Craftsman screwdriver, the orange handle. It's a Torx. This here is a Miller's Falls ratcheting screwdriver. A little flat blade with a wooden handle. I paid 10 bucks for that. I thought, you know, ratcheting, Miller's Falls, I figured it was worth that. This was a little dollar item. Bonnie wood handle Phillips stubby. That's for Resto Rob. I got this Crowder Diamond K double open wrench. Got the 20 bucks on it. That came from the guy with the lunchbox toolbox. So I got him down a little bit at the end for bundling, but I love Crowder tools. I love these Diamond K wrenches. This one's in great shape, and I was willing to pay that for my personal collection. Got this set of Dunlap double open wrenches. $3 on this with the metal holder. There's 4 in here. I'm not sure if the original set is supposed to include another 1 or 2, but I come across these without the holder, so I figured I could fill it up. Dale over at Dale's Workshop collects Dunlap tools, and I'd like to finish it up and send it to him. I think it's really cool. Adjustable wrenches, I got 4 of them here. We got the Beryllium, Beryl-Co 8-inch, made in USA, 6-inch Diamond, a 6-inch Craftsman, and a 4-inch Utica with the 3 diamond logo. I paid $25, 10, 10, and 10. And at the end, I think I got the guy down just a little bit for a bulk deal. But, you know, his prices were fair for what they are. They're definitely collectible, and he had a lot of nice stuff. And I really love adjustable wrenches, of course, so it was worth it for me. You know, you mix that in with some of the bargain deals, and it doesn't hurt too bad. This is an Exolite nut driver screwdriver set. It's missing the handle, but these are the interchangeable bits. I do occasionally find these handles with a bit or two, but not really the whole set. So I just need to get the handle, and we're missing a 3/16, but nice pouch, rolls up nice. These things are really convenient, so for $2 or whatever I paid for it, figured it a nice deal. Got some pliers. This is Craftsman Western Forge. These 3 pairs are Craftsman Western Forge. The end nipper is just excellent. That's really a nice one there. Small little Crowder end nipper. This is a Proto, little thin needle nose. We got this one up here is a McCaig and Hatch, I think. Yeah, this is a McCaig and Hatch little tongue and groove water pump pliers. Haven't seen that before. This one here is a Bonnie. Again, a little gift for Resto Rob. This one is marked HM, that's Honda Motors. These were varying in price from a couple bucks up to $5, depending on the condition or who I was buying from, but still, good deal. I got this Diamond auto wrench. I think it's like a 15-inch. This was $5. These things are awesome. A little bit rusty, needs to clean up, but works good, and $5 was a steal to me. When I came across Jimmy Diresta, he just showed up, and he had a trailer full of tools, and I saw a bunch of bins full of rusty tools, and I asked him about it, and he goes, oh, those are going to all be $1 a piece, except for this. This was $5. But I ended up filling up a whole bin full of tools, and he said, just make me an offer, and I said, how about $30? And he said, yeah. So we have this Sears Craftsman industrial sander grinder. So you put a belt on here, and you can use it, do some metal work, sanding, whatever you want. $5, it was a Sears. I didn't even test it. I just figured I'd take a gamble on it. This was something that Scoutcrafter pointed out to me. This is a made in USA hacksaw. It's a Stanley. Has the adjuster down here. Very comfortable, aluminum. Only $1. So, you know, that was something I just picked up. Figured it would come in handy in the shop. And the rest of this is a whole bunch of rusty gold. So basically when I go digging in these rust piles, these dollar tables, dollar bins, I try to find a bunch of stuff that I think I can clean up, that, you know, you got to assume you're not going to win on everything. Some stuff might be just too rusty. But this is an SK set. We got a lot of rust in here. This ratchet is just cheap Taiwan, but we got the spinner handle. couple of sockets, couple extensions. You know, some of this stuff will clean up nice, help me kind of put together some other sets I got. So that was, you know, a real good bargain deal. And most of the rest of this is just a bunch of pliers, like channel lock. You know, I know some of these can be saved. This stuff all was sitting outside. His father passed away, and he had a hoard of stuff to go through. And a lot of the stuff just really needs to be cleaned up. So this was just bargain bin stuff. There's a couple adjustable wrenches in here. I think there was 2 diamonds. There's a pair of Klein in there, a couple vice grips, just random stuff. But you get the idea. Some of this stuff you gamble on, but you don't pay a lot for. And for 30 bucks with the grinder, totally a good deal to me. This was something I found right in the beginning. And this is cool. This is a super old Stanley. It's got a patent date on it of 1895. And this is the number 36 level. So it's made out of cast iron. It's super heavy duty. I thought it was really cool. I paid 20 bucks for it. That's right for the collection. We got a little bit of Machinist stuff. We'll go through this pretty quickly. I got these 3 sets. These are all pin gauges. So these are the smaller. This is 11 thousandths up to 60 thousandths. The next set is 61 thousandths up to 250 thousandths. And it does have the section here where I could transfer over the pins from that first set. And then we got the bigger set. So this goes from 251 to 500. I got all 3 of these gauge pin sets for 90 bucks. These are all Meyer brand. 2 in the plastic case and 1 in the wooden case. But I think we'll probably take these, put them in here just to reduce it down to 2 cases, and that was a pretty good steal for our shop. Mitsu Toyo, this came from Keith. We bought this and the Starrett from him. So this is a micrometer. It's called the Combi mic, and you got your standard micrometer readings here up to 10 thousandths, and then you've got millimeters here. So as you turn this, this turns and reads out in millimeters. So nice, easy, quick conversion. Basically, this looks brand new. We got this and the Starrett for $100. This is a new old stock Starrett 2-inch to 3-inch mic. And the readout on this one is just in inches. So same thing, but just not in millimeters. But brand new in the original box. We got 2 of these. I'm not very familiar with these. We just kind of bought them just to kind of learn about them. But it's a force dial indicator. And they're Wagner brand. I think, Nick, did we pay 10 or 20 for these?
I'm not sure.
I think it was either 10 or 20 bucks for both, but it might have been 10 bucks because I remember thinking it was a steal. So they look brand new. A lot of this, that came with this guy also. Same place, must have come out of some machine shop somewhere. So let's get in some bigger stuff. The pipe wrench was $50. 48-inch rigid aluminum pipe wrench. And yeah, it's used, but it's in good condition. You know, it's usable condition. 50 bucks we paid. I went on Home Depot and I couldn't believe these are going for $530 brand new. I bought this, and half an hour later a guy walks up to me trying to buy it off me. He offered me 100. I said no thanks. He offered me 200. I said no thanks. And then he said, I came all the way out here just to get a 48-inch pipe wrench. And
From Atlanta.
He came from Atlanta. And I'm sorry for him, but I think I need this. We don't have a 48-inch pipe wrench. I don't want to use a steel one because they get ridiculously heavy. It's already heavy enough as it is. And for 50 bucks, and that's the steel deal of a lifetime. Crazy deals, you know? We got a chuck. We're hoping that this fits our lathe. So this is a buck chuck. Kalamazoo, Michigan, 1310. It's a 4-jaw chuck. We've been looking for a chuck for our lathe. because when we upgraded lathes, we only got it with a 3-jaw, and we're looking for a 4-jaw. $50. You know, normally used chucks sell for $250, $300, $400. Depends on brand, condition, size, all that. But again, couldn't pass it up. I got 2 of these giant Williams Engineers wrenches. They're both the same size. They came off a $5 table, and the guy even said to me as I was giving him the money, he says those would make great door handles, and he's not wrong. I think those would look really cool. You know, I'll think about that, but you know, imagine an entrance to a man cave, your home barn, just whoo, that would be really awesome. Toolbox back here was a free pile toolbox. I pick these up when they're really cheap or free. I like these, you know, they're just standard toolbox. I don't know who made it, you know, it's rusty, it's dirty, but I like to clean them up. I put a little bit of drawer liner in here, and then if you have a small tool, I have a little bit bigger of a box like this where I put my Sawzall in there, and then I put all the blades and stuff in here, a tape measure, you know, a marker, a pen, anything you would need while you're working with your Sawzall. This, not sure what tool I'm going to put in it just yet, but I know it could make a nice little kit for something. We got the belt sander, disc sander combo unit. This might have been the first thing I bought for the day. It's a little bit beat up. This table's a little loose. But it was $40. The guy bought it at auction. It does work. I plugged it in. The belt is pretty loose, so either something needs to be adjusted or that belt is just completely stretched out. But for $40, I figured it was a gamble. If it works, it'll come home with me, and that'll be my home belt sander, disc sander. The DeWalt planer. Paid $70. Something about these DeWalt planers just come calling to us. This is the 3rd DeWalt planer that I have bought. The first 2 were different models than this, and they were kind of like quick flips, stuff that I had bought in intention to clean it up, kind of flip it, hand it off to somebody. But this one I think is going to come home, and I like how it's small and it's compact. I think this will come home, and when I need it, I can use it. Nick has a old Sears planer in the other room that we use here, but this could be my home unit. So $70, that was also a steal.
That's great. It's a 12.5-inch thickness planer that'll do a 6-inch material. That's actually bigger than mine.
It's nice, you know. We bought 2 pieces of metal. This was $10. We got this 1/4-inch plate of aluminum, and we got this like setup plate, aluminum. It's got all these holes drilled in it. Not sure what we'll need it for. It's probably about 3/4 inch thick, maybe a little bit less. $10 for both of these. You know, aluminum's not cheap, so we figured we'd just go for it. Got these giant shackles. This is a 17-ton weight limit shackle for $5. If you had to go buy one of these, I think they're like $350. So it depends on which one you buy. I mean, this is a cheaper Chinese one. You probably get it for like maybe a little less than $100. This one isn't labeled or rated, but again, we're going to use it more like we kind of need just more clearance to get this on something. We're not really going to be pushing 17 tons on this one or even close to that on this one, but this was $3. You're not going to pass that up. You know, you're lifting something big. Hey, overkill is better, right? And then, I think this is the last of it. We bought this hardware organizer. You know, this has the drawer slides, all these go in there. These are the hardware organizers. We paid $150 for the unit, plus all of these containers full of hardware. And I basically bought it for the hardware. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? This is all 3/8/16 hardware, grade 8. We have a lot of hardware. 3/8/16 is a very common size that we use when repairing things or building things. But to get grade 8 hardware, you know, this stuff isn't cheap, and it's all nicely organized. I don't even have to go and organize it. It's all brand new. Over here, these are the hex drive, you know, kind of like socket cap set screws and stuff like that. Again, nice larger sizes, all in a beautiful organizer. Let's see what's in the other ones. Again, grade 8, this is 1/2 inch 13. Beautiful stuff, all organized. You know, this stuff is going to just pay dividends in our future. Here's more of those hex drive bolts, even bigger. These are all 1/2 inch 13 as well. And we got one more down here. That one's full with smaller socket head cap screws, 5/16-18. Very common sizes and thread pitches, all in these organizers. You know, these things alone aren't cheap, and these I know aren't cheap. A little bit beat up, needs just a little bit of adjustment. You know, it was kind of knocked around a little bit, but 150 bucks for that. All in, we spent about $900 today, but that also includes breakfast, lunch, and all the tools we bought. And there's a serious amount of value here. You know, $900 sounds like a lot, but if you were to buy just these gauge pins, that's probably $600-700 a gauge pins, brand new. That's a $530 tool. The planer's probably $400 or $500. You know, if you had to buy this stuff new, the chuck, a brand new chuck, what do you think, Nick? Like $1,000?
Between $600 and $1,000, I'd assume.
So the value adds up quick. So I want to thank you guys for watching. It was a lot. We had a really fun time. This was the first year for the Field of Tools. I had no idea. I just saw it a couple weeks ago in the Bench Vices group, and I was thinking about going. And then the other day I saw Scoutcrafter said he was going, and I was like, well, if he's going to be there, I might as well go. So we took the day off and hit it on the first day. We got there before a lot of the sellers were even set up, so we got first dibs on everything. But people were still coming in, setting up as we were leaving, so hopefully it's a great weekend. And hopefully, you know, they do this again in the future. So looking forward to going back at some point. So that's it for today, guys. You know, you guys have a great week, and, you know, these shows are really awesome. I think the next thing on our list is probably going to try to hit Zagray Farms. That's going to be a big one. So let us know what you guys think about the tools. Pick a favorite tool and leave it in the comments below. We'll see you guys on the next one.